What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Live Life Podcast, where we celebrate stories and transformations from guests that I have the opportunity to have here. Today, we are joined by an inspiring father and son duo. So I'm excited about this one. So I'm going to start with the introduction. Usually, I start off with the quote that relates to my guest. It reads the following: A father is neither an anchor to hold you down nor a sail to carry you away, but the sun that rises each day, casting a light on the path ahead. Throughout every round and every challenge, his love burns bright, guiding you towards greatness as a champion and as a man. Boom.
Boom. There we go. That's what we needed right there.
Yeah. Andres Sr. Andres Sr. I'm going to call you Andres Sr., bro. Born and raised in East Salinas, California, he grew up facing considerable adversity in a community where the future seemed anything but certain. From the rough streets of the 90s and the hardworking immigrant parents, he learned the value of how important it is to carve your way out to a better path to the next generation. Instead of succumbing to the pressures of his environment, Andres chose a different battle to become a pillar of strength and a beacon of guidance for his children. Andres Jr., Drew, inspired by his father's dedication and support, took on boxing with passion that cultivated from a very young age under the watchful eye and wise mentorship of his father. Drew has risen through the ranks to become a professional boxer since turning pro in 2023 in Tijuana, Mexico, right?
Yes, sir.
Junior has always started making a name for himself, showcasing not just his skills, but also a profound influence by his father's teaching. Boom. Hey, welcome, guys. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome. Hope you guys like that introduction. First and foremost, taking the time for being here with us. Like I mentioned earlier before the podcast, the whole goal is to expose and give exposure to you guys. You know what I mean? You guys
Appreciate that, man.
got a fight coming up on October 12th. I'm
Sir.
sure you're excited about it.
Oh yeah.
And like we spoke on the phone, I mean,
Yeah.
you're the manager, you're the
Everything.
marketing
Marketing
director,
director,
you're the
PR,
accounting department.
everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
And I find that very, very interesting because throughout the boxing career, we've seen fighters with their dads on their corners. You've seen them talking through rounds. They're like, hey, chale ganas, don't give up, or like, tell them off sometimes. You know what I mean?
You have to sometimes.
Because I feel like that's the only way that a father can get through their son's head during the most difficult time of their lives, because you're in the ring, kill or be killed, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes you get hit a little bit too hard that you're like, you get that fear, like, shit, am I gonna get my ass kicked?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Am I losing?
Yeah.
It's like, damn. And then you need that extra motivation when you go to your corner and you need to hear those words like, hey, ponte pilas, mijo, you got this. You know what I mean? Like don't give up, do this, do that. And I think that motivation does a lot in those 2 minutes. How many minutes did it give you? 1 minute?
1
Or
minute.
1 minute?
A minute.
It does a lot in 1 minute for you to get back in the ring. Like, all right, I got this.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
Yeah, and I'm sure you could attest to that, dude. I'm sure you've been in that situation where you're into rounds, you're like, Dad, man, he hit me pretty good, or you're feeling it, but you don't want to tell your dad.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
during that minute, your dad comes in, steps up as not only as a trainer, as a coach, but as a father. Hey, mijo, you got this,
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm sure you guys have
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
And it's a trip that you say that because as a father, you know him. That's your son. You know what I mean? You know
Yeah.
what ticks him off. You know what gets him going. You know what you need to say for him to be motivated to, like you're saying, to
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
this. You know what I mean?
yeah.
You get that confidence back.
Yeah, because as a coach, we both had the privilege of coaching together. That also egos. Sometimes we tend to get our words to those little kids' heads. You
Yeah.
know, but for the majority of the part of the parents they're able to get more to the kids. Because like you said, they know them a lot better. But yeah, I mean, obviously, we're gonna touch that journey. What made you get into boxing, and we're gonna touch, the future that your goals, aspirations that you have. Obviously, I'm sure you mentioned it on your questions that I asked that, what is your goal? Is to become the first champion in the city of Salinas, and
Definitely.
to, obviously, money comes along and you make sure you retire your family and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And,
definitely.
and, you know, I give you respect for that because a lot of kids nowadays they only look out for their own benefit or they don't even think about the parents no more. You know what I mean? You have a father that has the old school mentality, and I like that. You know,
Yeah,
it's we don't see that no more, bro.
Nah, yeah.
We don't see that no more. I remember I had that uh I had that conversation with Aaron
Mhm.
where you know kids are different nowadays. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they're
A
different,
lot.
different.
Different times. It's just different times. It's
Yeah, yeah. Get close to the mic a little bit,
yeah.
bro. Yeah, yeah. Or pull it forward to you. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. And you know, it's been different times, but other than that, obviously I want to focus on you a little bit, bro.
Okay.
You know, obviously you mentioned that it was tough growing up in the 90s, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
You
yeah. I
know,
mean, we just had a conversation right now.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. You know, how was your childhood growing up in the 90s, bro? How was it?
childhood wise, I guess you're a child. You know what I mean. You don't see that. You don't understand what's out there. You know what I mean. You're in the present time as a child. You know what I mean. So I grew up in the street, playing baseball on the street, playing football on the street. You know what I mean. Cars coming. Oh, hold on. You know what I mean. Cars coming. All right.
I remember
Game on. You know what I mean. Game on. You know what I mean. Like
yeah.
you're a child. So it's not until you start getting into the later grades of elementary there where you start like, oh man, what's this? Or like, who are those guys? Or you know what I mean? Like why do they got the intention? Or but back to the question, I grew up cool, man. Both parents, my dad was a truck driver for a produce company out here. He drove trucks from the field to the coolers, 30 something years, you know what I mean?
Okay.
He just retired a couple years ago. Um, I had 3, 4 siblings, you know what I mean? We all grew up in the same household, like both our parents. Like you said, times are different, you know what I mean? Like I don't ever remember my parents telling me I love you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it wasn't that it wasn't we come from Mexicano families. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's not
Yeah.
a common thing, you know what I mean? To where I love you gets thrown around our house.
Yeah, it wasn't.
You know what I mean? Like, hey, love you, son, love you, my little girl, you know what I mean? Love you, meow, whatever, you know what I mean? Or from the other room, Dad, what? I love you, you know what I mean? And it's like I remember one of my friends one time, I think these guys were small, and I think it was him who told me, all right, Dad, love you. And then my friend's like, what did he say? Did he just say he loves you? Like he was like so like man, like that's it brought him joy, but at the same time, I could see like in his eyes, like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
I never had that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and like again, like, we never had that. Like, I honestly couldn't say that. I don't remember any one point in my childhood being a kid when my parents told me, "Yeah, I love you." I know they did, but
Yeah, our parents were different breed, bro.
yeah,
They're
different
a
breed.
different breed because I had the same experience with my dad
Yeah,
to this day.
yeah, yeah. No, you know what I mean. And I think
Yeah.
I've heard them say it maybe once or twice. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
hey, I love you, mom, love you, dad, and they're
Yeah.
like, oh
Yeah.
shit, it's even weird to them. Like, oh, what?
You know who's like that, dude? My little brother, the second oldest one.
Uh-huh.
I tell him, yeah, I love you, bro. So, okay, Junior. Well, say it back, fool. You know what I mean? Say it back. But I think he got it from my mom and my dad, too.
Yeah,
you know?
you know. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, childhood was good.
Yeah.
Childhood was good. Like I said, I can't complain.
When you were growing up, what elementary school did you go to?
I went to Los Padres.
Los Padres?
Yeah.
Did you any point during growing up, bro? Did you have any goals like I want to be a fireman or I
I
want to be?
wanted to be a baseball player.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who was your favorite team at that time?
I like the A's and the Giants.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, baseball was my passion.
Did you play baseball at
Little
Crossett
League.
Park?
And we played for American.
Oh, American League. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
Robertsons.
okay. Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool,
So
cool.
that was my goal. My goal was to be a
Baseball,
Major League Baseball player. Yeah.
Major League Baseball. What about you, Drew?
Growing up, well, I took on boxing age 7, bro. So I think ever since then, that's what I knew deep down what I wanted to do. You know,
Really?
I played football. Obviously, I played for like junior peewees. I felt like I was like considered like the practice dummy. You know, I would run the ball in practice, but
Uh-huh.
during the game they'll be like, "All right, you're about to go in. Stay right here," you know. And then third down will go on, and then fourth down, and then it's like, damn, like I thought I was gonna go in, you know.
Right.
So I kind of just got tired of that, and one day I remember we were watching a fight, and I just seen how everyone was just so into it, you know, how everyone was just cheering everyone on, you know, just the energy in the room because of the fight.
hmm
And I just remember telling myself like, damn, I want to do that, you know what I mean? Like that looks tight, like, you know.
Yeah.
And I told my dad, I was like, hey, I want to do that, you know. And then he's like, you serious? Like, you know, I kind of remember him looking at me like, what like kind of throw him off, you know.
Yeah.
And then so yeah, he's like, all right then, well, obviously, you know, Ruben, he's my god brother, so we've been around him since
Oh, really?
yeah,
Oh,
since
yeah.
forever.
Uh-huh.
Um so he's like, all right, well, we'll get in touch with Ruben. His plan was to just bulk me up for the next season of football. You know what I mean? So, but in my mind, I'm like, damn, we're going to the gym. I'm like, hell yeah. So he had a little gym in his house at the moment. So he had a couple bags, I think. I remember going to go work out with him, and ever since that day, I was
Fell in
like,
love
yeah, I
with it.
fell in love, man. I was like, damn, when are we gonna come back again?
So it was love at first sight.
That type of
You were
thing,
going,
yeah, and it really was, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, after I put on those hand wraps, I remember taking the hand wraps home, learning how to do it myself, and then from there, just like I said, love at first sight. You know what I mean?
That's awesome because you fell in love with the sport, and a lot of boxers are champions now or pursuing that career. They all fell in love with that sport,
Yeah.
and I didn't fall in love with the sport. I just did it because I had to defend myself.
Yeah.
You know? I had to throw-
Sometimes it's because of that.
Yeah, I had to throw
People fall in love
down.
with it because
Yeah,
they have to learn to defend themselves.
yeah,
Because of their
but-
environment.
yeah. So growing up, being around your pops, everything was. I mean, obviously, you mentioned that when you started boxing, you fell in love with it at a young age. So pretty much any dreams of being a doctor or anything just went out the window.
Yeah, bro. I mean, and it's funny. I would like, obviously, the teachers in school ask you like, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? Everyone be a firefighter, policeman, whatever, the usual, And
Yeah.
I would always say boxer, and they kind of look at me like,
What?
yeah. Especially I was so small as a young,
Yeah.
I mean, so they kind of just give me that funny look, like a boxer, yeah, and then I'll be dead serious, like looking at them with a straight face, like,
Like,
yeah,
yeah.
that's what I want to do, and that's what I'm gonna do, like, you know what I mean? I always, from the young kid, I always knew that this is something I was gonna do. So,
Nice.
so yeah,
Nice,
so
nice.
I took it really, really serious.
Now you mentioned earlier, Andy, that growing up, you saw people, hanging out, getting the attention. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah. I got family. I got cousins that obviously are older than me. I mean, for whatever reasons, for whatever circumstances, they got caught up in the system.
Right.
So in our household, we had a lot of family members that would come and live in our garage at different times. You know what I mean? That's my parents were just, I mean, we were that family that
Yeah.
that, you know what I mean? I'll go to my tia's house. You know what I mean? We'd be able to stay the night there or whatever.
Okay.
So I had cousins that were coming in out of YA. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And they'd come with their creased down pants, hair back. You know what I mean? Like they just had a presence about them that just spoke respect. You know what I mean? They like demanded respect. My neighbors, they were all the same age as my cousins, so they were coming out of prisons and YAs and it just I don't know what it was. It just intrigued me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would try to. I remember being small, trying to mimic it. You know what I mean? And I remember my grandma telling me, "You're not. Don't ever think that you're gonna dress like them and this and that." Yeah, I remember her clearly. She was making tortillas in the kitchen, and then I think we had a picture of one of my cousins who was in a visiting room when he was locked up. You know what I mean? And I was talking, "Oh, look, grandma, like I'm trying to get see what trying to fish information from her." She's just like, "No, ni creas." You know what I mean? Don't even think that that's what you're gonna start acting like them or dressing like them and then, well, like I said, once you start getting into the older or the later grades of elementary, like I mean, you start seeing things, you start
Right.
understanding things more. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
man, I seen that not that they were tough or you know what I mean, but like there was something about it that like people looked up to it, I guess in a sense. You know what I mean? And back in the '90s here in Salinas and anywhere else, it was rough. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah, it was rough.
the
and
gang banging eras. You know what I mean? And
it was more about respect.
yeah,
Respect.
respect and it was. I mean, then for a while you start seeing it everywhere. You know what I mean? It was the style. It was the dress. It was the
The solo.
yeah. You know what I mean? The Ben Davis, like oh, you know what I mean? Like I want my pants more creased than that guy. So it's
What was that liquid that some people will use? Yeah, that's right. They're all hella.
They stand up by themselves.
Yeah, I remember I used to crease my white shirts with the crease in
down
the
the
middle.
middle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My dad's like,
yeah.
"What the?" You know?
Yeah, I mean, see, things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it without wanting to, it's just like, damn, let me crease my shirt too.
You know,
Like,
one
that
thing
looks
I-
cool, you know?
One thing my dad never bought me was the Cortezes, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, I wanted the shoes. They're like, no, that's loco. I'm gonna buy you those Cortez.
It's funny. Like I remember when I had to be like in 4th grade, maybe when I think Boys in the Hood came out. So Cortez,
Yeah,
Nike Cortez, you know what I mean? I
like-
remember finally getting a pair of Cortez.
Really?
And I thought it was gangster.
Yeah,
I thought I was a
that
gangster.
the thing back in the
I
day,
think
dude.
even my way of walking changed. You know what I mean? Especially when I had those shoes on. You know what I mean? Oh, look at my Cortez. You know what I mean? Like, and they used to go by a different name. I don't remember if you remember the name. I'm not going to say it because
I remember.
it's kind of derogatory. You know what I mean?
No, say it.
They used to call You know what I mean? The Cortez, that's what I remember
Yeah.
them being called. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like, man. But then again, like I said, like once I put those on, I felt like I was on coso. You know what I mean? Dirty grass stains on my but I had my Cortez. You know what I mean? So I thought I was tough. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I used to tell my mom, son pa correr, they're for running, you know? And she's like, oh, no, los míos todos yeah. But I never did until this day. I haven't even bought them. Now that I can, I haven't bought them.
Yeah, they're ugly to me.
Yeah.
Like,
but there were the things back in the day. Also, the belts with your initial name on it.
Yeah.
After like couple wears that you couldn't even
couldn't tie no more.
You can't tie no more.
You gotta get a new buckle.
You gotta get.
You gotta go to the swap meet. Get a new JNR. You gotta go to JNR.
Ah man, dude, those were the days. Yeah. I mean, for those that don't know what YA is, like youth.
It's California Youth Authority. It's basically they shut all that.
They shut it
down. It was basically a prison for youth offenders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, you go from juvenile hall to camps. And if you can't make it there, then they send you to the big boys.
So, yeah. Youth, and there was one in Paso Robles, right?
There was one in Paso Robles. There was one in Whittier. There was one in Chino. There was 4 of them in Stockton. And then they got various little camps here and there.
Now, going forward, like what adversity or challenges did you face during that era that you were like so intrigued about those individuals that you're like, whoa, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess it comes down to acceptance. You know what I mean? Like everybody wants to be accepted. Everybody wants to be a part of something.
Right.
And you feel left out when you're not. You know what I mean? And especially if it's how could I say, if it's a popular crowd or whatever. You know what I mean? Because you had your football players.
Yeah.
You had, you know what I mean, your people that didn't whatever, your gamers or whatever. But then there was those gang members that for some reason, like I said, they just like, man, what's that all about? You know what I mean? And and like you said, it's the acceptance, the respect that you've seen them getting. You know what I mean? Like, oh man, look at that. You know what I mean? Big mustache. You know, oh man, he must be something big. You know what I mean? And it's like, when all you see is that, when all you're hearing is that, then shit, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
But gravitate towards that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then especially like back then, our parents weren't talking to us, hey, no hagas esto, you know what I mean? Or stay away from there. The way I feel we could talk to our kids now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sit them down, hey, listen, man, this is where you're fucking up at, or this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Our parents, my dad had work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes he wouldn't make it to my games because he was at work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And my mom had 3-4 other kids to take care of herself, you know what I mean? Plus the household, you know. So it was far and few between the conversations that we needed to hear.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Did you ever got to that point with your son? Like, did you ever see your son try to like?
Oh yeah.
Because one thing that you brought up was like, our parents never talked to us, not because they didn't want to.
Yeah, not because they didn't want to. They don't know how.
Yeah, they don't know how. And plus, all they know is work. The mentality work, and hope that their kids, learn from it and become a better person. Because my dad never talked to me about it. Cuando it was last minute, then he beat the shit out of me. You know what I mean?
That's what it came down to. Yeah. That's what they knew. That's what they knew. Saca el pinche cinto.
Yeah, you know I mean? But how about you, Drew? Like growing up, and obviously already starting that journey of as a young boxer going to train at 8 years old. How was it? How did you face adversity at school? When you would go to school and they're like, hey, let's go play, let's hang out, let's go play video games. I got practice. What did you experience in that?
Well, like I said, since young, I've always been training. I think it was probably not until I hit middle school, like 6th grade, middle school, is when like he said, you start seeing these new crowds, you know what I mean? You start kind of getting to know yourself a little more. And I was like, damn, like, and for me, I've always seen the lifestyle, like, you know what I mean? But to me, I've seen it since I was very young, so it was nothing new to me. It was, to me, it was normal. I was like, oh damn, they're having parties. I was like, shit, like, you know what I mean? It's normal. You know what I mean? It's another Saturday night to me. You know what I mean? I was like, but I got to be inside to wake up the next morning to go to the gym. You know what I mean? But yeah, bro. I mean, it was a little tough, and then for a while, I was like, I started hanging out with my friends like in 7th grade. You know what I mean? Just getting to really hang out with them, because in my early childhood in elementary, it was just strictly go home. By the time I was home, I had to change, get my little push-ups and sit-ups in before he came to work, and then by the time he came to work, it was gym time. You know what I mean? For 2.5 hours. You know what I mean? And then after the gym, it's already late at night. You know, eat your
Yeah.
dinner. You know, go chill with
Call
my
it a
little
night.
brother. You call it a night. You know, and then do the next thing. But like I said, during middle school, you meet your other peers. You know what I mean? And they're like, "What the hell? You're boxing?" You know, it's not common. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So like, man, like, come kick it over here with me. You know what I mean? Like, come hang out for at least one day. Come on, you can't one day. I'm like, all right, all right. You know what I mean? Go real quick, and then little by little, I just started like wanting to just be a kid. You know what I mean? Because obviously I wasn't doing things a normal kid would do
Mm-hmm.
since I was young. So I think I had a certain age when I was kind of like, man, I just want to be a kid, man. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna be kicking with my friends, kicking with my
Yeah.
homies and stuff. And then I feel like that kind of drifted me away from the boxing scene a little bit. You know what I mean? Just wanting to. I got a little taste of what it feels like to be a kid. You know what I mean? So I was like, I kind of like this a little better. And I actually stopped boxing for a while.
Yeah, dude, I saw that. You
Yeah,
stopped boxing for 3 years, right?
yeah, for about 3 years, 4 years. I stopped boxing, man. I think I was about going into eighth grade. I was just like, man, like, and I had been fighting since I was 8 years old. So in my mind, maybe I was like, maybe I'm just burnt out. You know what I mean? I was
Yeah.
just like, and then meeting these new people, I was like, man, fuck this. Um, so yeah, I mean, I told my dad, I was like, man, I'm cool off this, man. Like, I just want to be a normal kid. You know what I mean? And
When
then
you say normal kid, what do you mean? Did you just like go hang out with your friends, play
yeah,
video games,
exactly. Yeah, I mean, because obviously, like, as I was little, I would always play video games with my brother and stuff, but it was only just me, my brother, and then a couple cousins that lived around the neighborhood. So those were my obviously my close friends.
Right.
But once you hit middle school, you meet people from other schools.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, damn, like, oh, what's up, man? Like, you're cool. Like, you're cool to kick it with. Um, and then they would just go fucking even just go to 7-Eleven down the street, get some fucking Slurpees, fucking
Just be a kid.
yeah, just be a
Yeah,
kid,
yeah,
you know what I
just be a
mean? And
kid.
then obviously you get to that age where you start realizing like, oh shit, this
Who's
is
who?
this is yeah, this is who this is, this is who this is. And then the people you grow up with, it's like, how do I say it? Like, you're kind of like not obligated, but it's like you've been with them for so long, you know what I mean? So you just kind of run with that group for a while,
Right.
and so yeah, I just kind of stopped boxing and then just want to just live my life like a normal kid, you know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
that turns into another thing, and then so on and so forth.
I think when he says normal kid, like he said, you know what I mean? Like before they went to school, they were up doing push-ups and sit-ups.
Right.
You know what I mean? When they got home from school, they had to make sure that they had their run in already by the time I got home from work so we can get there and rock and roll.
Right.
You know what I mean? There was times where tournaments were the day after Halloween to where, hey, we can't go trick-or-treating because we got to be over here.
Right.
But the tournament starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there were certain things like the other kids were able to do. We're like, nah, you're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, you're going to fucking break your leg or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We got to fight.
Right.
Yeah, even though it was amateurs, it was still like, man, we kind of both had a similar goal in mind. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
after a certain, like you could tell when someone's good at something. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
can tell when they're not. Like, you know what? Maybe it's not for you. But grateful that he adapts to anything sports wise. I mean, he's an naturally athletic kid. So
Right.
I seen it. You know what I mean? So it's like, no, man, chill out. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we can't do that. You know what I mean? Oh, can I go? No, you can't. You know what I mean? Like, we got to fight or we got to go to the gym. When he would rather go on ride bikes with his friends or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, yeah. No, I'm glad you elaborate a little bit more
Yeah.
on that. You know what I mean? Because I like good example. We both know somebody, a coach. Segovia.
Uh-huh.
His son. I was just play football all the way since he was a little kid, and I remember talking to Coach Segovia. He's like, yeah, he's gonna join the Marines.
Yeah, yeah.
He's he got a full right to go to college play football. I'm like, yeah. But I understand as a father he got upset because he saw
Right.
he was good as
The
a
potential,
as a running back, and he wanted him to excel. And I am sure if he would have gone to that route, Segovia, right?
Dorian.
But yeah,
He would have gone to play college. I think it was Division I school or Division II. I think it was Division I. I forgot what school, bro. But I think he he was so tired of just like, you know what, I want
Yeah,
something new.
yeah,
And
just like he said, you know what I mean?
yeah, now he's one of the freaking badassest Marines out there,
Yeah.
dude. You know, I follow him. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah,
you know?
I just seen Gabe the other day too.
Yeah. Now Gabe's all proud. He's
Yeah,
like, he's
yeah,
a Marine. Yeah. And
As a matter of fact, I think he had just came from San Diego visiting him.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now he's a badass, you know.
Yeah.
And the same thing goes for was it another friends that, you know, their daughters play softball since they were little girls.
Right.
And after graduation from high school, they're like, you know what, I'm done.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
done. You know, it's just like you say, they never got an opportunity to be a kid.
Exactly.
You know, and I'm glad you took that opportunity to be a kid because maybe at this point of your life, you'd be like, you know what, Dad, I'm tired of this shit.
Yeah, that's what I tell everyone, bro. That's what I'm like. Maybe I need that. You know what I mean? And I'm glad I did it young, where I was able to come back to the sport. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's a certain age. I mean, anything's possible, but there's a certain age where it's kind of like you're maybe a little too old for this, especially in the boxing world. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm glad I turned it around. And
Yeah.
we're here now.
I used to work with this guy. He was a painter, really good painter in a body shop. And he was a boxer, dude.
Mhm.
He boxes, he was small, but he never
Pursued it.
And I was like, why did you do why? And I saw his videos and I'll see his videos. And one time he invited me, I went to Watsonville. I forgot the name of the gym. And I was like, dude, this guy has potential.
Mm.
But he was the sparring guy for all the guys coming up.
Yeah.
But he'll bring out the heat to those guys. He'll make them better. And I was just like, bro, if I would have met you back then, dude, I would have freaking, you know, promoted you or something. You know, it sucks when you see wasted talent like that.
Of course.
They didn't have they didn't have the support. Yeah, to pursue that career. Like, you know, you can just imagine how big they could have been.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so great. I'm glad. You know, you guys are like. How did you feel when he told you, like, Dad, you know, I want to take some
I
time
was
off?"
fucking pissed. Real.
Really?
I don't think I talked to him for a long time.
Yeah, for a while.
No,
we
wow.
bumped heads.
We wouldn't. I wouldn't like because I knew his potential.
Right.
And when he took a break, it was for all the wrong reasons.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He started. What's that? He started shying away from the flock. You know what I mean? And he started getting involved in the streets.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So to me, it was like, motherfucker, you're gonna risk that shit to go fuck. And I had just gone through it. You know, I had gone through it, and I had told myself, you know what? I went through all this shit. I did all this time, so that my kids won't have to do it. You know what I mean? So when he started doing the same shit I was doing, you know what I mean? It was like, oh hell no. You know what I mean? Like, so and for real, I wouldn't talk to him.
Oh wow.
I was that pissed. Like, you know what, man? Like you're stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go figure it out yourself then, and see what the shit I'm telling you that I did that you shouldn't do. Now now how can I say, like, you try to tell him, but you want to learn on your own, go ahead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Go ahead. And I seen him slipping more and more and more.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like it would piss me off. It would fucking piss me off. Like, and I have like a hard time expressing myself, you know what I mean? Because my parents were like that, you know what I mean? So they were real reserved, and I would let the shit eat me up, you know what I mean? Like, eat me up. And when he would do something, you know what I mean? Then I would blow up, you know what I mean? And like, even my wife would be like, man, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, or why, you know what I mean? Well, because fucking like, I see this motherfucker's ruining his life, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You don't want him to go through what you went through.
Of course not. Of course not.
Do you feel, bro? I mean, I don't want to be too upfront, but do you feel that you had a little bit fault in it growing up and bringing him around, or was it that he's just the crowd that he was around that decided to take that direction?
It could have been. It's hard to say. I think maybe, you know what I mean, maybe, but again, like at the same time, like I've never spoke to them about gangs growing up. I never said red, blue, this number, that number. I never put gangs on them.
Right.
Never, nothing. Never at no point. Did they see my friends that would come over? Of course. You know what I mean? Like they called them Theos, you know what I mean? My little nephews, you know what I mean? But they were all my homies, you know what I mean? They were all gang members, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't understand at the time because they were small, but they were there. Like he said, you know what I mean? We would have boxing fights. All my homies would come over, we'd be drinking. You know what I mean? They'd be running around. But yeah, I guess a little bit, you know, I guess a little bit.
So you feel like because he decided to take some time off and go in a different direction, and you saw that, you felt a little bit of guilt. That's why you were so angry about it. Not just because he decided to give something up, but because you know, you saw the potential. 1, 2, you saw that he was going through something you went through, and 3, because you know, you're like, shit, I think I should have done a little bit more.
Because I feel that in a big sense, I kind of turned the other way. I knew what was going on. I seen it, you know what I mean? I seen where it was going, and Not one ounce of me said, fuck yeah, that's you know what I mean? Nah, hell no. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? It was more
yeah.
like, oh hell no. And I just didn't know how to express myself to tell him, hey, motherfucker, that's it. You know what I mean? You're
Yeah.
fucking up. You know what I mean? I guess I kind of like that. Well, fuck, that's his friends. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it was tough. You know what I
It
mean?
was
It was
tough.
tough. It was tough to see it. It was tough to go through it. Like, it sucked, man. It really did.
Drew, at that point when your dad was, you know, you guys were having that battle of son and father, because we all have that battle, you know, in different aspects.
Yeah.
I had that battle with my dad when I was running his business. When me and him were working together, man, me and him were always bumping heads to a
Mhm.
point where I say, you know what, Dad, I'd rather have a father and son relationship than ruin it because of a freaking business. You know?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I decided to quit this business. But at that point when you were bumping heads with your dad, dude, you guys were going at it. Obviously, did you knew that your dad, by him blowing up on you and going off on you, because obviously he just said that he couldn't explain his feelings like he wanted to,
Yeah.
and by him going off on you, did you feel at that point that he was looking for your benefit or he was just being a dad?
I think like he was just being a dad, you know what I mean? Like, when he'll blow up on me, I'm like, man, forget this dude. Like,
Yeah.
no, fuck it. I'm like, to me, it's like it gives me more time to go kick it with my boys. You know, if
Yeah.
we're not gonna do nothing at the house, like, man, I'm out there, and, like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, definitely, I felt like I didn't see the real meaning behind him blowing up. You know what I mean? To me,
Right.
I thought he was just being fucking an asshole or fucking,
Yeah, yeah.
just getting on my ass about it. But now that I'm older, I realize it, and
How old are you? 18, 19?
I just turned 21 on the 10th.
I'm all 18, 19.
Hey, better for me, man. That's better for me, man.
So now that you're older and you see that, hey, my dad was looking out for my own benefit. Now did you ever have the opportunity to go back and say, hey, Dad, I'm sorry for putting you through what I put you through those 3 years?
No, I haven't, man. I haven't actually.
We it's mutual. You know what I mean? I understand it. You know, he didn't have to say it, but
Maybe now is the moment.
yeah, right now. He just said it. We just said it right now. We
You
just
said it for me, bro. Yeah. Nah, you said it for me.
Man,
And
yeah.
then it's like, and then I had too much pride to say anything to him too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it just we're both hard headed people, and so
we're too much.
Yeah.
We're very similar, man.
I was gonna say next.
fucking very
Did
similar.
you see yourself,
Oh, big time.
little young
Big
Andreas,
time,
on
big
him
time.
when you were going at
Big
it?
time.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, and I'm glad you guys share this because I know some of our audience will will listen to this episode. They'll be like, man, I could relate to that.
Yeah.
And especially young kids like yourself that you get to a certain age. And I give you respect for that, and I can I'll applaud you for that you admit it. I tell
Yeah.
you what, you know what, I was wrong. I'm glad that my dad was there for me. So from now on, everything my dad says as a trainer, as a father, I know it means well. Even sometimes it doesn't mean well. Sometimes my brain process it as that, man, he's just being a jerk. But
Yeah,
at the end of the
definitely.
day, he means well. So I
Exactly,
hope
man.
moving forward you take it like that.
Oh,
you know
for
what I
sure,
mean?
for sure.
Okay, now so let's dive into boxing career. Obviously, you said that you started at a young age. You mentioned that you're like, you know what, I fell in love with this. Ruben Villa was your godfather. You said
God brother.
godbrother,
Yeah.
and you started training with them. He took you under his. Would you say he took you under his wing?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
And you guys had tournaments, amateur tournaments where
Mhm.
you had the gear and everything, right?
Yeah.
When did it start getting real for you guys?
Off the top, right
Yeah,
away.
I-
Yeah.
Right away. Yeah, right
Yeah.
away. We started with another coach. There was somebody that started him out.
Right.
He was there for a short time. He had Ruben and he had his son that were both national champions. You know what I mean? So he focused on them. He kind of told me, hey, well, you kind of know what you're doing. Go ahead. You know what I mean? So he took us to our first fight. And after the first fight, it was, all right, man, you got it. You know what you're doing.
Mhm.
You guys go ahead. You know what I mean? And from there, I think that's when, like, shit, it's real.
Right.
It's real.
So it was real since day one.
Since day
amateur.
one, yeah.
Definitely, definitely.
Basically, it was real. Like he said, like we went to the gym. He sparred for the first time. We went to go bulk him up for football for the next season. And the coach's like, man, this kid can move. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
like he's got good footwork. You know what I mean? Like, you want to spar him? And I'm like, fuck it. You know what I mean? So I tell him, hey, what's up? Come here, man. He's like, we're gonna spar right now. He's like, what the hell sparring? I
Uh-huh.
said, it's like a fight, but not really like a fight. You know what I mean? So he going in there with a bigger kid, obviously. You know what I mean? Kid was like 40 pounds soaking wet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he got out of the ring. He's like, you know what? This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
This right here is what I want to do. As soon as he stepped out of those ropes, he's like, that was fun. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
So when he said that to you, what was your father instinct like? Okay,
I was like,
let's do
let's
this.
get it. Yeah, let's
Let's
get
get
it. Don't threaten me with a good time. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Oh man! So as the progress keeps going, the training, the fights, and everything, um, you you went pro in 2023, right?
Yes, sir.
So that was your first fight,
Mhm.
and that was in Tijuana.
Tijuana, yeah.
So when you guys made that move, like, okay, we're going pro. This is a weight class. You're super. What weight class are you?
Bantamweight.
Bantamweight.
Yeah.
How much is
That's between
115 and 118.
115. Yeah. Yeah. I'm still little. Yeah,
115?
I'm still
Shit.
little.
I've been 115 since junior high school. Huh?
Yeah. What's nah, from you when I was a kid, bro? Was it peso? What's peso mosca? Is that
That's flyweight. Yeah,
Flyweight?
that's the division under us. That's like 112. 112 or 115.
Do you ever have plan going up weight, or you guys?
Oh, definitely. It's always kind of been hard for me to gain weight. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I kind of want to take down a division by division. You know what I mean?
Okay,
So I want
yeah.
to stay here as long as I can to hopefully get a title. Get a title shot, win a title. Plan to unify, undisputed, all that, and then when the time is right, move up to the next division. And then
keep going.
yeah, because I'm still young. I'm still growing into my
Oh,
body.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm not in no rush to fucking jump weight classes or anything like that. So
Right.
yeah.
So going back to your first fight in Tijuana, I remember seeing those videos where you guys are walking to get blood work and everything. How was that experience, dude? Like,
It's different than it is in the United States. You know what I mean? Over there, if you let them fuck you over, they're gonna fuck you over. You know what I mean?
Really?
And it's all about money over there. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? Like over there, we have to pay for the opponent.
oh wow,
Yeah, we don't get paid. We're professional.
Yeah.
They're professional fights, but the way it works over there is it's you're not paying for the win because nothing's guaranteed.
Uh-huh.
But more or less, that's you go over there to build your record.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? You go over there, your first couple fights, you know what I mean, to get the jitters out. You're pro. You have smaller gloves, no headgear.
Mhm.
Shit's real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of people do it. A lot of people go out there. A lot of people will talk shit about it, but a lot of people do it. You
Why
know what I
would
mean?
they talk shit? Just because?
Because basically you're going over there basically in a sense to pay for a win.
Oh, okay, okay.
You know what I mean?
okay, yeah.
As opposed to like you're fighting in the United States to where you have promoters, you have a lot of people that go out there don't have that promotions, the managers. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah.
you're like a kind of like a walk on in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's Mexico, bro. Like
Yeah.
over there they do it for survival.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They do it out of necessity, out of survival. To where over here we do it because we want to fucking fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Over there they fight because they have to.
Yeah, because they want to.
They don't get paid, they don't eat.
Yeah.
They don't get paid, they don't eat.
Yeah.
And let's just say I pay $1,200 to fight, which is pretty much what it's going rate over there to fight is.
Mhm.
The fighters over there probably get like $200 out of that.
Out of that. Damn.
So the times that we've gone, we see the same fighters fighting all the time.
Uh-huh.
And I remember asking him, hey man, like fucking, I seen you fought last month too. He's like, yeah, man, I have to.
Oh, wow.
This is the only way I eat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And pobrecitos, you know what I mean? Like they don't have like the gear that we have, you know what I mean? So I look at it like, fuck, we're grateful, man. Like we're
Yeah.
really, really grateful.
Okay.
These kids don't have boxing shoes, they're boxing and ripped tennies, you know what I mean? Like they're the clothes don't fit them in, but they're in there to fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're in there to fight. That they still have that passion, that drive, and the fucking necessity.
Necessity and the
And
goal
necessity.
to hopefully somebody sees them. and
Hopefully,
Yeah,
and
sign
some
them and
and
stuff.
some are badass. You know what I mean? Like a lot of them ain't, but a lot. You know what I mean? There's badass Mexicano boxers, bro.
Yeah,
Chavez,
yeah.
You know, look at Marquez.
Yeah.
So you get bad motherfuckers that come out of Mexico. You know what I mean? So like I said, you're not necessarily paying for the win because nothing's guaranteed.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we have a friend who went out there. I'm not sure if it was his debut, but he fought out in Mex and he
I think
lost.
it might have been, yeah.
Yeah.
He lost, you know what I mean? And he was a 23-time national champion as an amateur, you know what I mean? Like and he lost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know the inner works of it, but I'm pretty sure in their head they're like, oh yeah, here we go. The first one, we're gonna get this one.
Yeah.
Didn't happen.
Well, look what happened to Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz.
Yeah.
He thought he was gonna walk through him, and he got his ass kicked.
Yeah.
You know.
Definitely.
And it happened again to him.
Yeah.
With another guy.
With
I
another
forgot who
guy.
he fought. He
Just
thought he was
this
gonna.
last week, yeah.
Hey, he got knocked out. So you know, sometimes people get cocky, dude. You know, and they get their ass kicked. But going to that first fight, you guys do the blood where you guys there. Were you nervous, bro, or you were anxious to just get in the ring and fight?
A little bit of both, bro. For me, like I've always been the type to like let's just get it over with, like you know what I
Right.
mean. But not in a bad way, you know, in a good way. Like all right, let's get it.
Yeah.
But definitely anxious because you know, like he said, you're fighting in smaller gloves now. You don't have a headgear no more, and don't even gotta be a hard punch. You just gotta land on the right spot, and
Right.
you can get knocked out. You know what I
Right.
mean? And then no one wants to get knocked out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and then it's your first time feeling really how a professional punch is gonna feel like. You know what I mean? So
It's different because when you were doing amateur, you had the headgear, you have everything.
Exactly,
So now you're
exactly.
actually getting
bigger gloves, you know.
Yeah.
Now you got 8-ounce gloves, and then by the time you have your wrap in there, it feels like a little rock. You know, you're punching yourself like damn, like
yeah.
you know this was gonna hit me like that, like
Yeah.
damn, like fuck that.
Like, hey, Dad, I only want to fight
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, bro. It's like damn, like
Hey, we gone too far. Maybe
Yeah.
you're gonna get into the fight.
yeah. So definitely, you know, it was a little anxious, but I had to remind myself like I've been doing this since I was 8 years old. You know what I mean? This is what I wanted to do. You know what I mean?
So you brought down back that high to like laser focus, right?
yeah, definitely.
That's
yeah.
awesome because I know that, well, the times I had opportunity to talk to certain individuals like fighters, even the ones that do jiu-jitsu and stuff like that,
Mhm.
friends that have the do jiu-jitsu, is like sometimes they're like, dude, I get so nervous, bro, that I go to the restroom.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
yeah,
I
so
can,
I don't eat anything in the morning before I go to a tournament, bro, but I still gotta go to the restroom before it's my
it's
turn.
the nerves.
Yeah,
It's
the nerves is up, but then once I'm in there, it's gone. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like, whoa, you know?
Definitely, bro. It's like for me, it's like once I get that little first
Hit.
little hit or first little thing of contact, I like, all right, I'm cool.
Yeah.
Like now we're back to normal.
How was it for you,
Oh,
dude?
no, fucking
Like-
all over the place.
like
My nerves were all over the place.
Yeah,
I
like
think he gets more nervous than I do.
I
to be
don't
honest.
think I came out of the restroom. I was kept pacing back and forth in the
Really?
restroom, and our family, we were in Tijuana. We had a lot of people that went,
Uh-huh,
so my sister was waiting for us to do a prayer.
uh-huh.
So hey, hurry up, man! I'm like, yeah, hold on, I'll be right out. And I couldn't. I don't know. I mean, obviously it was nerves, but it was something else. I don't know what feeling. I can't explain that feeling, but it was like it was surreal. You know what I mean? It was like, damn, this is actually gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like everything started like that. I started going out through all the checks. Man, did we do this right? Did we do this
Yeah.
right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because my kid now. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
my kid,
yeah,
and people die in the ring. You know what I mean? People
Yeah.
die in the ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's real. You know what I mean? I was telling him, I was like, damn, this is real. Like, and I do get nervous. I get nervous up to the point to where I have to slap myself off and be like, all right, bro, come on, let's go. Come on, it's
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? But it's nerve wracking. It's nerve wracking. I mean, I can only imagine for him, but he's more like he says he's more calm. Hey, let's get this shit out of the way. You know what I mean? Sometimes
Yeah.
he has to tell me, hey man, chill out, relax. You know,
real shit.
you know what I mean? Like he has to tell me, hey, just chill the fuck out. We're gonna be good. You know what I mean?
What is the most difficult part supporting your son in this sport?
The most difficult.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, man. That's a good one right there.
All right, we'll get back to that.
Yeah. Let's go back to that one. Next question, please.
Has it been a challenge for you to separate your role from being a father to
Oh yeah,
to a trainer?
it is. Yeah. Because we're together every day, all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was just funny because I was just talking. We went to go spar yesterday in Greenfield, and I was talking to the coach. Like, man, it's tough for me to turn off that switch,
Really?
and I have to because we'll bump heads in the gym. And we got to fucking ride back home together in the car, you know what I mean? And it'll be dead fucking silence. It'll be dead silence. You know what I mean?
Really?
So
And in my head, I'm telling his ass off, you motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like in my
Yeah.
head, but it's just like again, it goes back to that. Like, I don't want to say the wrong thing not even at a spite, just you know what I mean, in the spur of the moment. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
To where I'm gonna be like, fuck, I
Yeah.
shouldn't have said that. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
that was the right thing to say. You know what I mean? Or my approach or whatever. But it's hard, man. It's hard. It's hard.
And I'm glad you're talking about it right now because that gives him another perspective viewpoint, and to a point where, like, you know, on the drive home, you know, it's not personal. You know,
Yeah.
all he means is good. You know,
Yeah.
all he means is love, and he wants you to be a better fighter. You know. And
Yeah.
so I'm sure that on the way back home, or if you haven't thought about it, bro, now you know.
Nah,
Now you know that he means well. You know what I mean?
I have to remind myself that too, because like he said, like
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the same shit he thinking. I'm like, man, fuck this fool. Like,
Yeah, you know,
like,
it's
the fuck. I'm like, how you gonna tell me to fuck you? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
even like now, you know what I mean? Like it's like the potential's there, you know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
like sometimes he slacks off and it's like, come on, bro, like fucking like
Yeah.
you're a pro now, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you should know this already. And it comes back to like my wife telling me, like, yes, even though he knows, he still needs you to fucking remind him. You know what I mean? It's like she makes a point, like it's like you tell like when they were growing up, did you put deodorant on? Did you brush your teeth?
Yeah.
They know it, but you still have to
Yeah.
remind them because you're the parent, you know what I mean? You want
Yeah.
them to.
And I'm glad, dude, because a lot of parents that go through something like this that you guys are going through, right? As a father and son duo in the sport, um, they want to know that, hey, they're not the only ones going
No,
through
yeah,
this.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're not the
exactly.
only ones going
Yeah,
through this.
definitely.
Yeah, but I'm glad because if you never, like, again, going back to, if you never realized it or ever saw it, bro, like on your way back home, like, why my dad is being a jerk, just know he means well, bro.
Yeah. And again, it comes down to us being the same fucking person, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we're alike.
You're
and-
meaning me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah,
exactly. Like
yeah.
my wife even says, like, fuck it. Yes, he's your son right there, man. You know what I mean? Exactly like you. Like, and then like at the end of the day, like you had mentioned something earlier. I'd rather lose him as a fighter than as a son,
Okay.
if that makes sense. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
I'll walk away from this shit. You know what I mean? If it means that I'm not gonna have my son or that relationship with my son,
Right.
I'll fuck this boxing shit. You know what I mean? I'd rather have him as
Yeah.
my son than my fighter. You know what I mean? If he's gonna walk away and go with somebody else, cool.
Yeah.
But I
Uh,
want him.
The
He's
father
my
and
son. Yeah, he's my fucking
right,
son.
right,
At the
right.
beginning of the day and at the end of the day, he's my son.
Yeah, and I'm sure that you guys will get to a point, if that ever happens to that point, like, you know what, I think we're having too much, we're bumping heads.
Yeah,
too much,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Granted, right now it's not to that. It's nowhere near that. You know what I mean? Granted, right now it's nowhere near that. But you know what I mean? It could be a reality.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. It could be a reality. As a father, dude, do you ever have concerns of head trauma down the road?
I do, and that's maybe recently I started
Right.
thinking about that more.
Yeah,
Because he can move. You know what I mean? He's got good
Yeah.
footwork. He can move. You know what I mean? He don't get hit a lot. But again, we don't have no more headgear. You know what I mean? The gloves are
Yeah.
smaller.
yeah,
You know what I mean? People train just as hard or not harder than us to come and fight.
yeah,
So modern day gladiators,
yeah.
he knows what it is, modern day gladiators.
Yeah.
And I do. Now I do more so. And
Have you had that talk with them about it?
it's getting there.
It's getting
It's building up. It's building up. You know what I mean? It's getting there. But
Have you been aware of the head trauma? Have you seen it with
definitely, yeah,
fighters
definitely,
or even in football and any contact sports? Do you ever, excuse me, do you ever come to a point where you're like, you think about it when you're like asleep, like shit? You know what I mean?
yeah, definitely. Like I think after my first fight, actually, I was just chilling. Like, it was late at night. I was watching a movie, and I kind of just thought to myself, like, damn, I could have really fucking died in there. Like,
Yeah.
damn, like, kind of hit me. Like, what? Oh shit! Like,
Yeah.
damn, what the hell? Like, literally one wrong punch, I could have
Yeah.
not came out the same, And that it just made me realize, like, damn, really got to tighten up on the little things I do outside of the ring. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even supposed to just sleeping earlier, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
little things like that, like that are gonna help me in the long run. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I wanted to bring this subject because I remember a while back ago, I saw this post of this fighter, and I was looking for him last night, dude, so I could bring it up today. So he got in a fight with somebody. He got hit so many times.
I
in the
think
back
I-
of
I
the
know
head.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and then obviously
Elon or something like that.
brain bleed.
Yeah.
and now
And
he's like-
she's still.
Yeah,
He's
but-
barely. I think he's barely walking right now. I
Yeah,
think.
barely walking. The doctor say he just pull the plug, but his mom's like, hell
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
And now he's alert. He hears you and everything. And it's just like, wow.
Mexicano, right? I think he's Mexicano.
I think
Yeah.
Mexicano, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I think he was fighting from Atwater or
Yeah.
or somewhere over there. But really, he had a bright future. Pues, unfortunately, it sucks.
See, and that's the reality of it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, I mean, even like local boxers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You grew up with these local boxers. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. And
Yeah.
you talk to them today, and it's like, man,
yeah, I know.
right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like fuck. And if I don't know what we're talking about when I'm talking to him,
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh yeah, oh okay. You know what I mean? Because it's fucked up.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. You know what I mean? And that kind of goes to your team, man, taking care of you.
Yeah, taking care.
You know what I mean? Like I would rather
Throw the towel.
I got his best interests at heart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't fucking money, fuck the money. You know what I mean? I got his best interests at heart.
Yeah.
He goes somewhere else, they're not gonna have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're looking at it as he's my bread and butter right here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not, oh, you're hurt. You know what I mean? Fucking, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Another round. You know what I mean? To where, fuck that. Hey, that's it. You know what I mean?
When do you separate that as a trainer because like looking out for your own benefit for your boxer, just in general, bro.
Mhm,
Let's just be in general, not because
Right,
for our
right.
duel. But your opinion on this: when do you separate that when you see a boxer getting beat, and you know that even though he's on zombie mode or on autopilot going out there, and you hear the corner telling the guy, un round más, bloqueo, tira el
Yeah.
jab, but tú sabes that he's getting his ass kicked. At
Mhm.
what point do you think that fight should be stopped?
Oh, right away.
Right away, right?
Fucking right away. Yeah.
But how does that go? I know you mentioned right now that it's because they're getting paid by the trainer, right?
right.
They get millions, and then the trainer gets another half of it. Or I don't know how that works, but you know, at what point does the trainer look for their best interest of the fighter? I feel like at that point, you should be just throw the freaking
Yeah,
towel,
yeah. You know what I mean? And obviously you know your fighters. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know who's good, who can weather the storm and hey, fuck, get out, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's it. You know what I mean? Like that,
Yeah.
throw the towel in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You kind of, in a sense, you kind of gotta let him go a little bit to see. Let me make sure before I pull this plug. Let me make sure you don't. All right, that's it. You know what I mean? Or fuck, who knows? Oh, there we go. There we
Yeah.
go. That's what I was waiting for right there. There we go. But if he's getting beat up, man, that's it.
Do
For
you
what?
think-
For what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Do you think at that point that you mentioned where we've seen fighters like quizás que el coach piense like, you know what, let me get another round to see if he's in his five sentidos,
Yeah.
cinco sentidos. But what about that 3-minute round does more damage?
yeah. See, so that it's a
kinda-
fine line.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
very fine line. You
I
know?
always think about myself as like,
Because it could be that, like you said, it could be those next 30 seconds where something really does go wrong.
yeah,
And then you're fucking like, damn, I should have.
I should have stopped.
I should've.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And sometimes it's too late for the I should have.
Yeah. Like the
You
movie
should have.
with Apollo and Rocky.
Uh-huh.
I would have thrown the.
Yeah,
I would have thrown the. Even though he would tell me don't throw it, wrong, I would have still thrown
You know
it.
what I mean? And I've seen fighters, father son duels,
Uh-huh.
to where the son's not doing well, and the dad's like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna stop this. Fuck no, you're not. Fuck no, you're not. You're not gonna stop this.
Uh-huh.
You know, I'm gonna go out there and fight. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's for a dad, it's a tough decision
Yeah.
because again, you know that's your kid.
Yeah.
You know him. You know what I mean? You're gonna go home and have fucking dinner with him. You're gonna wake up in the morning and have breakfast with him. You know what I mean? Like that's your kid. So I remember seeing that fight. I remember seeing that whole thing go down. And at the point, I'd be like, man, fuck that. You're the dad. You fuck no. But then I seen the dad's mind going, you know what I mean, to where mine would have been doing the same thing. Like, fuck, do I stop it? That's my son. I believe in my son, but fuck,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to see him get beat up. What do I do? It's tough. It's a tough decision. It's a very
Right,
tough.
right,
It's
right.
like pulling the plug.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Basically, what you do is like you're pulling the plug, and
Yeah.
and you have to live with fucking what's gonna come after.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whether
Yeah.
it's good or whether it's bad. Where he says, "Hey, man, fuck, thank you," or
Yeah.
"What the fuck, man? Like, you know, why'd you do that for? Like, you made me look like a fucking punk." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's a machismo thing, I guess. You know what I mean? But
Have you guys had that talk, dude? Like, if he ever gets to the point where you're like, he wants to stop the fight because he's looking for your best interest, right? But you're like, nah, I can still do it. You know, have you
I
guys?
don't think we've talked about it, but I know I know the idea of like, or like the conversation that's came up. You know what I mean? Like the situation I just spoke about right now.
Yeah.
Like what would you do? Kind of like we didn't dive into it, but it was mentioned, but not.
Because I'm sure down the road it will happen. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you're gonna be like, nah, dude, this guy is a little bit stronger than you.
Right.
He's landing some pretty good shots, and I don't want you to take more damage, even though you look
Yeah.
ready to go on
Right.
the full freaking. What is it? How many rounds do you guys fight?
Right now we're 5-4 rounds.
Yeah.
So let's say you're ready to go those 4 rounds, but those extra 2 rounds could avoid more permanent damage in the long haul. You know what I mean? So it's like, how would you react to that? Like, what a dig, or like, obviously, I'm sure you'll be pissed because you
Definitely. Yeah.
inside of you could go those extra 2 rounds, but at the end, at what point do you think you'd be like, you know what, my dad was looking out for my best interest? Maybe after a week or 2 months.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I feel like if, like, God forbid that was to happen, but I think if it was to happen, obviously, like, your pride, you're like, damn, what the fuck? Like, I could keep going, you know what I mean? But like you said, you got to kind of take a step back and look at it from the outside, like, damn, maybe that was the best decision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
and then,
That's
thank
tough.
you.
It's
tough.
it's a tough decision. Like I don't want to cross that bridge yet. I don't want when I get there, then I'll cross it. But it's even right now speaking about it, it's tough. Like
Yeah, it is tough.
right now, honestly, I'll say no. Keep fucking fighting.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I know you could do it,
right.
But you know, what I mean, you got my wheels turning to her like fuck. You know, what I mean? Like yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and I always wanted to ask that, dude, because I think about it as like, shit, what would I do in that
Yeah.
point? You know what I mean? You know, what would a dad
And,
do?
and I think it's one of those questions that you don't know until you get there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? You don't know until you get there.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking if you guys had the opportunity. To
Because
talk
in our mind and our mentality, we're not gonna fucking get there. We're not. You know what I mean? The way we're fucked that. We're not gonna be put in that situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But who knows?
Yeah.
Who's to know? You know what I mean?
So growing up, Drew, who was your favorite fighter growing up?
I used to always watch Ruben a lot. He was
Okay.
one of my favorites. You know what I mean? From being there as a young age, like he was one of my favorite fighters. Obviously he wasn't pro yet, but amateur wise, just I knew how good he was and where he was gonna go to. But in the professional aspect, I used to watch a lot of Canelo. I used to watch a lot of Roy Jones because of my dad.
Oh yeah.
Roy Jones Jr. He used to send me a lot of his videos, and I remember to this day I watch the same video that he would send me back then, and just reflect on it. As much as I don't like necessarily his personality, Floyd, I like Floyd Mayweather, bro. Just his hit and not get hit aspect. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, he has one of the greatest defenses.
Exactly.
Out there,
You know what I
It's
mean?
just like
You gotta take dissect the good out of it.
Yeah,
and take it in.
yeah.
So definitely him. Marquez, I like Marquez. The Pacquiao fight when he knocked out Pacquiao, that shit was probably one of my favorite fights.
dude, those were wars.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
Wars.
There were
Wars.
wars with that guy Pacquiao.
Yeah,
Marquez,
definitely, yeah. And then-
Good fights. So
Yeah.
good fights.
Yeah, so I would say those are like my top 3-4 that I just named.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are.
For me, growing up, it was what Chavez, Maromero Páez,
Páez,
you know,
yeah.
Duran, and all those dudes, and it's just like Tyson,
Tyson.
and all that. But yeah, I mean, Canelo, he's a beast. Dude. I
Yeah.
know he gets a lot of hate.
Oh yeah,
but
he's at the point where he don't give a fuck. You know,
Yeah,
he's
he has so
why,
much-
Why do you want me
yeah,
to fight you? Because
yeah.
you want me to grease your pockets?
Yeah,
You want me? Yeah. Like
he has so much money, bro. It's like
and whoever he fights is gonna have a lot of money too.
I
you know
would
what I mean?
retire, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
Well,
yeah.
Robert Guerrero.
Mm.
I remember when he fought Mayweather.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, we were rooting for him. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I
of
was like,
course,
hell
of
yeah,
course, of
fucking
course,
hell
yeah.
yeah. So I was excited he got an opportunity to fight
Yeah,
Mayweather. You know
yeah.
what I mean? I think he did good, but it's just
Mayweather.
Yeah, Mayweather did the
Mayweather.
defense, dude. But yeah, that was good. Obviously, también Celaya, he got opportunity to fight Chavez Jr.
Yeah.
I thought he
was doing good.
he was winning. I heard some other stuff, bro, behind the scenes,
Yeah.
dude. I'm not gonna talk
Yeah,
about it, but he was winning the fights.
Yeah,
he was winning the
I
rounds.
remember
Yeah.
that fight. He was doing good. He was
Yeah,
doing
he
real
was
good.
doing really, really good. But unfortunately, he lost. But other than that, I mean, just like shit.
He quit, huh?
I
I think he
I
quit.
think he was in the
I don't think they
ropes.
finished the fight. I don't think they finished the whole
he's just
fight.
saying,
Yeah.
"I'm done."
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know the full details.
Right,
you know what I
right,
mean?
right.
But that was a good opportunity to see someone from Salinas fighting a big
Definitely.
and a well-known name too, Robert Guerrero. I've been trying to get him too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He actually, when I was going through my fundraisers, one of my buddies did for when I was going through my treatment.
Uh-huh.
When I was about to start my treatment, his wife was battling cancer.
Yeah,
too
yeah,
as
she
well.
was, yeah.
And they came over and they showed support. And
Yeah.
that was really awesome. I mean,
Yeah, Robert's a real humble guy, man.
He's a great,
cool.
great, phenomenal guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so growing up, it was those guys. Roy
Yeah.
Jones Jr., man, that guy, I love his style, dude.
Yeah.
He's badass.
Yeah.
Flashy style. He's strong, quick. His footwork's good. So that's who always, as a young kid, I always looked at and like, damn, let me try this. You know what I mean? Let me try that.
I like the ¿cómo se llama? Oscar de la Hoya. He was cool. He was cool.
Man, hell yeah.
I like this fight with Trinidad.
Trinidad was
yeah.
motherfucker too.
Yeah. Was it Vega too? No, ¿cómo se llama? Vargas?
Vargas.
He was
Vargas.
bad, dude.
His kids are doing good right
He's training his kids,
Yeah,
and how old is his older kid?
now. I think he's probably like I want to say he's got to be like 25 maybe.
He's a different weight class than you?
Yeah,
Oh.
he's a heavier.
And then they
weight
got a middle brother, and then the youngest brother is the one that's badass. Emiliano,
Yeah.
Emiliano, he's gonna be the superstar.
Yeah.
class. Yeah.
He's badass.
Yeah, I mean, I saw one of the fights. I forgot who it was, but I was like, damn, it was cool to see Vargas there. And I like hearing Vargas now because he says that when he was young, he had too much pride.
Yeah,
He's like, I know I could have won some fights, but I let my pride take over and I lost.
yeah,
And I was like, well, he talked about the Oscar de la Hoya fight, and then I think he talked about the Cotto fight too.
yeah.
He's all, dude, I had so much pride. I had a lot of problems going on. People were telling me not fight, and I was just like, I took the fight and I got beat.
I mean,
Yeah.
where you come that, you know what I mean? He grew up fucking rough too. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So you start getting money and then you, whatever it is, the partying, the women, whatever it is, you know what I mean? To where like boxing demands 100%.
Yeah.
100%. I always say this: boxing is a jealous woman.
Yeah.
She's a jealous bitch, and she knows when you're cheating on her, and she's gonna let you know in the ring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's gonna let you know in the ring that, hey, you should have ran.
Yeah.
You should have slept early. You shouldn't have ate that. You should. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But just to clarify on the Celaya fight with Chavez, there's a lot of stories out there.
Right.
I don't want to instigate or cause any misconfusions because I know how you guys are. So just
That's not right.
yeah. So I'm just saying, we're not saying anything bad. So
Yeah.
don't hammer at me on that because
Yeah. They're coming. They're already on the thumbs are already warming up.
I know, bro. It's like, dude, But other than that, I mean, yeah. But now let's go to the fun questions now. Before we close it off, who's more competitive between you two?
I don't know. I've always been competitive as a young kid, when it comes even down to video games. Even down to fucking foot races in elementary. You know what I mean? So,
We're competitive. Like I could tell, like there's certain things like.
Yeah.
Like again, we've got the same personality.
Yeah.
We got the same personality, so it's like you're not gonna win.
Have you guys sparred together?
Not yet. It's getting there. It's getting there. It's getting.
He's saying he's getting there, but he's only getting older. I'm only growing.
Hey, next time you know, bro, you start throwing kicks,
Everything.
It's kind of funny you say that because the other week we were doing like body shoot and mitts, and I think he hit me on a mitt. He hit me with the mitt. I'm like, motherfucker. So I snuck one in on him. Boom. And then from there, it just happened just to fucking little by little, we kind of just...
It was one of those things, you know what I mean? No, fuck that, you know what I mean? Like, and I could feel it. You know what I mean? And I was like, I had to...
Yeah.
But still at the same time, hey, motherfucker,
What is one of the guilty pleasures foods you both enjoy after a tough fight or training session?
I would say maybe just like the adrenaline... the adrenaline from it, just even like just in the gym when people see you training hard, and they say, damn, good shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to me, it's like, damn, that's that feeling that you want to get to keep you going, you know what I mean? Keep you motivated, and even after the fight, when they raise your hand, you get all the love, everyone's liking your photo, everyone, you gain followers, everyone's saying good shit, just all the love, bro. Yeah, that's probably one, like, a guilty pleasure I have, like, then I tell a lot of people, like, damn, like, it makes you feel like you're really on the top, and you're really a fucking superstar, you know what I mean?
Yeah. If you had a famous training boxer to come train with you, who would it be?
Probably Canelo.
Canelo,
yeah. Canelo and his camp, that'll be a fucking badass dream of mine. Just
if you had opportunity to learn from a badass trainer, who would it be?
Nacho Berenstein, man. Marcus's coach.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I think this is even. I was gonna say, who's a better trash talk, dad or son?
Nah,
they're younger. You know what I mean? They're younger, so they got all that new. I don't know. We don't really talk shit to each other. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. You have the boundary.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's again, like I might want to say something, but I won't say it, and I'm pretty sure he's fucking saying it in his head. He ain't gonna say it. Oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What is your go-to song when you're coming out of when you walk through the ring?
I like to listen to a lot of like Lil Wayne, or Lil Wayne. I like to listen to 50 Cent. I listen to some Mac Dre.
But what would be like? What is your song?
What exact song?
Do he has a song where you?
Yeah, you come out to new ones every time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you have a little bit of mix of everything.
Yeah, a little mix. I don't listen to the exact same song,
okay.
but yeah, just like a lot of those artists and the older artists, just artists too. Like I would listen to with my dad when I was little. Like I was like, okay, like the song cool.
All right, for you, what is one thing that your son does that makes you laugh even during a serious training?
So I want to hear this.
What is something that he does that makes me laugh? I guess is the competitiveness, not cocky, but just the confidence. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, that's right. You know what I mean? Like it's pride. You know what I mean? It gives me pride. You know what I mean? Like I said, he doesn't. He's not a cocky individual. He's not a fucking no es presumido. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just little things. You know what I mean? The things that he does that other people see.
Okay.
and other people in the gym mimic. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he said, like when you know what I mean. Like there's a lot of kids that look up to him in the gym.
Oh, nice.
You know what I mean? There's when we do mitts, you know what I mean? I know people stop and like the other kids in the gym, they'll stop and they'll watch. Like,
Little kids.
yeah, you know
they're-
what I mean?
they're
There's
like,
a lot, there's an amateur team there, you know what I mean? And that's what makes me like, you know, and
have
then
that smile.
then yeah, his interactions with them, you know what I mean? Like them coming up to him, asking him questions and like, you know what I mean, advice, you know what I mean? That it makes me feel good, you know what I mean? It makes me feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right. If your son could have one superpower in the ring, what do you think he should be?
Power.
Power. Okay. Last question for you would be, what's one thing that you'll never admit to your son, even though it might be true?
Oof.
Like,
Say it again, say it
let me
again.
take this one out there clear.
What's one thing you'll never admit to your son, even though it might be true?
That he's my hero.
Nice.
So,
All right, now for you, bro. If your dad wasn't your trainer, what would you think his second dream job would be?
damn, man. I don't even know how to answer that one. His second dream job?
Yeah.
His second dream
If
job.
he wasn't your trainer, what would be his second dream job?
I mean, he already kind of lives. He's a great dad. You know what I mean? Just being a great father figure, even to my other siblings. You know, he's always had their support. You know, even down to my little sister. You know, he's always at her soccer games, travel soccer. So he kind of lives his second dream job, or that shit. Who knows? That might be his first dream job. You know, but
Yeah.
I mean, other than that, I can't really think of anything else
All
to
right.
say.
What's one piece of advice from your dad that you'll never forget, even if it makes your eyes roll?
To just probably to keep your mouth shut and your ears open, you know, take everything in as a sponge. You know what I mean? Soak in all the information that you can. Never be too loud. You know what I mean? And those things will take you a long way. You know what I mean?
Nice. Last question. If you could challenge your dad to any sport outside of boxing,
I was about
what
to
would it
say.
be and who will win?
Maybe I don't know, maybe basketball, because I never seen
Yeah,
him play.
I knew he was going to say basketball.
Maybe
I knew he was going to say basketball.
Maybe basketball. I never seen him play. I mean, football, we've you know fucked around a little bit. Baseball, I know he'll probably get me on that. But yeah, basketball, because I never seen him play, and I know I'll take him. I'll take him any day.
All right, Drew. Before we close, any advice to any young fighters out there, anyone that maybe is considering to pursue boxing career and they don't know how to start or whatever? Any advice that you think that you could bring to light for all the generation?
Yeah, definitely just to shit. I mean, a lot of people say this, but stay consistent, man. It's the truth, man. You know, just you're gonna have your bad days. You know, not every day is gonna be 1,000%, but as long as you're getting better, 1% every day. I mean, that's all it's all about. You know what I mean? Like I said, you're gonna have your bad days, days where you feel like shit, days where you don't want to go train. You know, but you got to put on your big boy pants and just fucking do it. You know what I mean? Especially in this sport. You know what I mean? It takes a lot down to even dieting, you know, down to not going out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Little stuff like that. And they say consistency and discipline outweighs motivation. You know what I mean? You could be
Right.
motivated for a week and then the next week, like, I'm cool, you know.
Yeah.
But if you're there every day, even to me, every day that I'm in the gym, I feel better than the days that I'm like, I'm cool. Like, or there's days when I'm like, man, fuck this, I don't want to go to the gym, you know. But I go to the gym and after I'm like, damn, I'm glad I came. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Yeah. So just the big part, bro, is just being consistent, bro.
I know I didn't went into detail or ask you questions about your training, how's your training regimen, stuff like that, because that was not my whole point. My point was to bring you guys a story,
Oh, yeah,
father,
definitely.
son, training and stuff like that, and the ups and downs, and your story, as a father and being where you're at right now. But what would you say to that father that came up from a rough past, that obviously, looked the other way or went the other way, and
Right.
now he's trying to do better for his family, his kids? What would be your advice to that father?
That change is possible, man.
Nice.
Change is possible. It doesn't matter what you did in the past, it's what you do going forward. You know what I mean? You can't let that determine your whole life. You know what I mean? Because anybody could change. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of want. You know what I mean? You want to do better. You want to, you know what I mean? Because You could send a drug addict to as many rehabs as they want. You know what I mean? You can give them all the treatment that they want, but if they don't want to change, they're never going to change.
Right.
You know what I mean? Same thing in same aspects in life. You know what I mean? If it's up to you to want to change.
Nice.
If you don't want to change and you want to continue, then you're not. You can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It's
Right.
one or the other. You know what I mean? So change is possible.
Nice. Well, that concludes that episode today, guys. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
thank you for having us,
appreciate it.
man.
You know, I appreciate it. And then we'll finish it off with some professional headshots.
There you go.
All right, cool.
Professional headshots from
Yeah.
one of my sponsors, Juan Avila and LC1 Productions, guys. So with that being said, peace. We're out. At Juan Avila Photography, we focus on capturing decisive headshots and portraits where every photograph tells your story. Whether for corporate teams, executives, or personal branding, our high-quality images reflect your professionalism and authentic. Let us help elevate your image with headshots tailored to your unique needs. Looking for powerful video content that drives your business forward? At LC1 Productions, we specialize in creating high-quality corporate videos and commercials tailored to your brand. From concept to final cut, we bring vision to life, engaging, professional, and unforgettable. Make an impact. Let's elevate your business today. LC1 Productions, crafting stories that matter.